Hi, it's Brian Bennett. I'm the senior White House correspondent for Time. Let me tell you about the Doomsday Book, what it is, and why former Trump administration officials are concerned about Trump getting a hold of it in the second term. First, what's the Doomsday Book? The Doomsday Book is a set of powers that the president has in extreme circumstances. Think nuclear attack or Congress gets completely wiped out. And they're designed to help the president continue the functions of government until the country can get back on its feet. Now, these powers include suspending habeas corpus, deploying the military in certain parts of the U.S., restricting telecommunications, and other things. And they've been worked out by White House lawyers over decades, and they've drafted draft executive orders with blanks in them that they can be filled out in extreme circumstances, and they are backed up by legal reasoning about a president's constitutional authority and what's in existing law. Why are former Trump administration officials concerned about this? I talked to more than a dozen people who worked in the National Security Council over the decades, and 5 of whom worked in national security for President Trump. They actively tried to keep away information about the extent of these powers from the president when Trump was president. Why? Because they were concerned that he might exaggerate a situation or use them when they weren't appropriate. Another thing to know about this is that there are very few checks on them. If they're used, an American can go to a court and sue and say the president has overstepped, but that takes time. These are things that are designed to be used quickly and in extreme circumstances. And the other thing that I learned about this talking to former Trump administration officials is the number of times that Trump already showed in his first term that he wanted to stretch the limits of presidential power. He did things like move money from the military to build the border wall. He also used the presidency to try to pressure Ukraine into investigating Joe Biden by withholding funds from Ukraine. And he also pressured the Department of Justice to investigate Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, people he considered political enemies. The concern that these former Trump administration officials had was that when Trump comes back in the second term, he will be willing to push even farther and might turn to some of these extraordinary powers that are contained inside the presidency, but are designed to be used only when the country is in times of extreme crisis.